Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Olivia. I make videos about sewing, gardening, natural medicine, anything like that. This is episode 2 of a series that I like to call Sewing Things That I'm Too Broke to Buy. Basically, in this series, I'm sewing things that I really like, but I won't buy because they're too expensive. Joining us today is Daisy, my daughter. Say hi. If you haven't seen the first video, I'll link it below, so you can click that and go watch that. It's a front tie shirt. But in this video, we're going to be making it could be a sleep set, or it could just be a regular set, but we're going to make this set from Free People. So the item that we're going to be making today is the Sailor Tube set from Free People. It's $98, so we're gonna see. I mean, we're definitely gonna make it so much cheaper than that because this is like, if anything, not even $10 in material. And it looks really easy to make, so let's make it together. Welcome to Sewing Things I'm Too Broke to Buy. Okay, so this time around, I don't even have to go through my stash of fabric because this one was already laying out, coincidentally. So this is maybe 2 yards of fabric, 1.5 yards. It's not much, but I think it's just enough because I am 5'1½" and pants are not that long. It's just a tube top. The stripes are a little bit thicker, but the whole point of this series is to spend as little money as possible and use what we already have. I got this when Joann's was going out of business, so I want to say this was like $2 a yard. So if I got 2 yards, that would make it, what did I say, $2 a yard? That would make it $4. So this is $4 in material, and I'm definitely not going to use all of it. So it's already looking to me like this is going to be a $2 make out of, instead of buying it for $98. Are you kidding me? Okay, so let's get into it. For this outfit that we're recreating, you don't even need a pattern. I am just copying my own favorite pieces of clothes that I have in my own closet. So that's going to save you money. So the first thing that we're going to do, since we don't have a tube top pattern, is we're going to find a shirt that we like, that fits us. If you already have a tube top, that helps a lot. Okay, so I grabbed a tube top that I like a lot, and I am going to trace it on my fabric. This is really thin fabric, like I could see through it, so I think I'm going to double line both sides. So I'm going to cut 4 pieces instead of just the 2 pieces for the front and the back. I just want to double check that I am going to lay these stripes the right way, which I am. They're long ways. So we're good. And again, my stripes are bigger than their stripes, but that's no big deal because it's the same concept, right? Okay, so the biggest part about cutting this is making sure that the lines are straight, because I mean, if it's not straight, then you're gonna have crooked lines. So, and I've done that quite a few times with things that I've made where the lines are crooked and I sewed them different directions, and so pay attention to that. Okay, so my first one's cut, and I'm just gonna copy that onto the next piece because I am double layering it. If you're not gonna double layer it, you can skip this step. But I laid it down, you can barely even tell, and I'm just cutting. Okay, so now I have 4 tube top rectangles cut out. So I'm the type of person, I like to have all my stuff cut out before I start sewing. I don't like to do one thing and then the next thing. I like to like move in sections like that. So I'm going to go find a pair of pants that I like, and I'm going to trace them out the same way that I just traced out this tube top. But I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so I found the widest leg pants that I own because I want this to be more wide leg than the one in the picture, and I'm going to show you how to trace that out. Okay, so the fabric is laid out flat on the ground right now. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your pants and you're going to fold them like that. and pull out the crotch as much as you can. And you're gonna lay them down flat on your fabric. Okay. Alright, so make sure it's all laid out flat. Okay, and you wanna leave like this much seam allowance. Very little. I mean, not very little, but a good amount. So then you're gonna take your pants. They were just like this. You're gonna do them the other way now, with the butt out, and you're gonna want to really pull the crotch for that one too. Okay, so while we're down here, we have the two back pieces. We're gonna open them up, okay, like that, and then we're gonna take the two top pieces, and we're gonna put them right sides together, lining up the straight part, so the outer leg. You're gonna line up the outer leg together. Okay, so I'm not seeing any pockets in the picture. However, I do think it would be worth a little more to me. I think it'd be worth $98 if it had pockets. So I think I'm gonna add my own pockets to it. Out of the 2 yards, this is what I have left of the material. So we did use all 2 yards. I'm gonna use the leftovers to measure pockets. And to do that, so right now it's double, I'm gonna fold it in half to make it 4 layers of fabric, so I only have to cut the one time. Okay, and I'm gonna take chalk and put my hand down and measure. Okay, so my hand needs to go in about there and about there. So that's the opening. And then just trace your hand with a little extra room. If you really want to, you can put your phone in there. So now you know for sure it's going to hold your phone. Okay, and then you're just going to cut that out. Okay, so I lost the sunlight, but I should have done this on the floor, but my dog stepped on it and scrunched it up. But I'm just pinning the outer leg, and I'm going to attach the pocket. Okay, so to attach a pocket, I like to pin the top, and you have to think, so this is going to be an elastic band, so it's going to fold over, so this is going to be where your waistband is approximately. Pocket is usually around here, I want to say. So you're going to take the pocket, you're going to take 2 pieces of your pocket and right sides together. I'm going to take one pocket piece. I'm going to find where I want it to go, and I'm going to take one side of the fabric of the pant. I'm going to pinch it right sides together, and I'm going to clip it or pin it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom side of this pocket piece, line it up, and match that right sides together. And I'm going to pin that as well. Okay, and now I'm going to do that to the other side. So both sides of the pocket are pinned to one side of the leg, right sides together. Okay. And I attached, or I pinned 2 parts of the pocket. Okay, and then you're just gonna pin the rest of the leg down. Okay, so here's a different angle, more of a like POV. So for the next leg, I'm gonna take the old pant leg, just to measure where the pocket's gonna go so that it matches up as close as possible, because I didn't actually do any measuring here. I guess if you wanted, you could take a measuring tape too. But I'm just lining these up, grabbing that pocket piece, flipping them right sides together. I'm gonna grab the piece, I'm gonna put it down first. Okay, pretty close. This one lines up over here. I'm gonna take that piece and put it together like that. And then I go. This is my sewing partner, Pumpkin. Okay, so now for sewing, we're going to do a zigzag stitch, and I like to start with the pockets. So, you're going to get your one leg, one side of the leg, one piece of fabric, that one piece that has the pocket attached to one side. You're going to start, this is how I do it, there might be other ways. This is how I like to do it. You're going to start with sewing that pocket to that one pant leg. One pocket is sewn to the one leg. So you're going to get the other side's pocket, and you're going to sew that on. So now that both pockets are sewn on to the leg, we can sew from the waistline all the way around the pocket and down the leg. So you're not going to go straight down, because then you'd sew the pocket shut. You're going to start here and go blue, blue, blue. While you're sewing, you just want to make sure that everything lines up. Okay, so now we have one leg that is sewn on the side. Now we're going to do the other leg. Okay, so now that both legs are sewn individually, I'm going to hem the bottom, because I think it's easier to do it when they're individual legs like this, because you can just open it up. Oh, that doesn't really line up now, does it? You know, it's fine. It'll be an illusion. But this means it's time to pick a height. So, let's put that leg like that, because this is where our crotch is gonna be. So this is how the pant is gonna be. So I gotta take, oh, and it's in stripes, so I could just like talk in stripes. So I need to take 1, 2, 3 stripes off for the height. Cool. Alright. So I need to take off about 3 stripes for my height. We're going to fold it up, outside, inside, outside, inside. We're going to fold it up. And that is our length. We're gonna do this twice. So once we sew up this line, we're gonna sew it again. Okay, so now that it's pinned, we're gonna sew it once along the pins. Okay, and then we're going to fold it up one more time and sew along that for a, you don't want this raw edge. That's the whole reason to do it again. So bloop. Then when you sew it, it'll have a clean edge. So now we have a nice clean edge on the inside, and the outside, is, well, clean. So now we have to match the height, or we have to match the length of the one we just did to the one that we did not do yet. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to line up the tops of both pants. A normal person would probably just measure with a measuring tape. Not me, I like to make my life really hard. I have both legs lined up with each other. So now we can see how much I need to remove off of that second leg. Now that both legs are hemmed. So the inside of the leg. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna match up the crotch, and you want to pin basically down the leg and sew. So you're just gonna sew from crotch to end. This part of the crotch to end. I'll pin it and show you again, because sewing pants used to be very confusing for me. I used to not understand. Alright, so I pinned it real fast. You're going to do this to both legs. This is one single leg right here. You're going to sew from this point to this point. That's it. Okay, so now that you have both legs sewn, you're going to open one up. Okay. That's one of your pant legs. You're going to take the other one, leave it how it is inside out. Take the one that you just flipped. I like to grab the crotch part, so put like this. Grab the crotch part with this hand and stick your hand all the way through. Follow that seam line down, like that. Okay, so now you have your arm inside the pants. You still have your finger on the crotch seam, and you have your finger pinching this bottom line all the way down. What you're going to do is you're going to take the other pant, grab that crotch seam, follow your finger, down. Okay, now you're going to line up these two seams, like that. And then line up the two crotch seams, okay? And then you can take your arm out, keep your finger pinched on the crotch. Then you are just going to line up both of the pants, like that. So now you have from crotch to one of the waistband ends. You're going to pin it at the crotch. That's the most important part right now. You're going to follow it. You're going to pin it at the top part. And if you want, you could do one at the center too. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing on the other side. End to end. like that. And you're gonna pin it. This is what it's gonna look like. And you're just gonna sew along what you just pinned. So from there, you can open up your pants. Now you got 2 legs, okay? So the pants that we're making, I believe, have an elastic waistband. By looking at them, especially in this picture of her turned around, that appears to be an elastic waistband. So, and it looks like a thicker elastic waistband, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you guys, I have no elastic, so I am actually gonna have to go get elastic. So I guess that forces us to move on to the shirt. Since I'm doing the tube top double layered, I am going to do right sides together and sew all but one side. So I'm gonna sew and I'm gonna do that to both because I have 4 pieces, remember? 3 out of the 4 sides are sewn, so now we can flip it inside out. Like so. Okay, so this is the front part of the top. Now we're gonna do the same to the back. Okay, so now that we have 2 rectangles, we're just gonna sew them together. Okay, so one side is sewn together. So I'm gonna open it up and this is what we got so far. I'm gonna hem the bottom while I can open it flat like this, just like we did the pants. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put it right sides together again and sew down the other side of the top. And this is what the top looks like. So this is the vibe of it. Oh, look, it's coming together. I just need the elastic and the pants would be done. Okay, well, tomorrow I will sew the elastic on and I'll show you guys what it looks like. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, I'm recording this a few days later. I finally went to the store. Usually I go to Joann's to get stuff, but Joann's is closed. So I had to go to Michael's Crafts, which I did not like that at all. I took a peek at the fabric section. The selection's very small. I did not like that, and I don't want to shop at Michael's, dude. So like, if you guys recommend, I guess, an online store, usually I do my shopping at thrift stores anyways, but I would get most of my fabric from Joann's for specific projects. And Michael's looks like it's not gonna really cut it. And I know Hobby Lobby is a place too, but I can't remember why we're not supposed to support Hobby Lobby. I know they did something a few years ago. I just know I don't really shop there that often. So I got this elastic from Michael's Crafts. Usually I get half the size of this, but for some reason I think I want a wider waistband on this project. In the picture it does look a little wider anyways, so now we're just gonna sew on the elastic waistband and this project is done. These are not my fabric scissors, by the way. They used to be my fabric scissors, but they have been demoted to normal things now. I hate throwing stuff away because I feel like I could still get use out of it. So yeah, now they're just normal scissors. They don't cut fabric very well. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to find where I want the elastic to sit, which is gonna be about right here. Okay, so I'm gonna give it some space between. I'm just gonna pull it tight. And I think that's how I want it to sit on me. So I'm going to cut it about right here. That's how I'm doing it, at least. So I'm giving it about, what is that? 2 inches less than your waist or where you want it to sit, maybe 1.5 inches. Because when you stretch it, I don't want it too tight, but I want it to have that nice scrunch to it. So yeah, we're going to do that. I'm going to cut it here. Okay, so now we're going to sew the elastic onto the pants, and I will show you how to do that. So take your pants inside out. And the waist. Okay, so you have the waist. You are going to take your elastic and put the 2 ends together and find the middle. So this is the middle of your elastic, right? So you're at the middle of your elastic. You're going to take the middle and you're going to put it at the middle of the front or back of your pants. Okay? You're going to take a pin or a clip, and you're just going to put the middle lined up with the pants. And when I put it on, I like to leave a little bit of extra space. Like that. So once you have that clipped on, you're going to take one end of your elastic and you're going to fold the end to where you clipped it, to that middle. Okay? Now you have a new middle right here. This middle is going to go on the side of your pants. So, I hope this is making sense to you. That side seam, you're going to pin that middle. My dogs are playing outside. You're going to pin that middle to the pants. And you're going to do the same on the other side as well. So this is that front or back middle. You're going to find, this is the side seam, middle. This is your middle, so you're going to go and pin it. This is the easiest way I found to sew an elastic waistband onto pants. Okay? And then finally, you have the 2 ends that are going to meet on the final piece that you did not pin, the front or the back. So what I do, put them as close together on the seam as possible, and I'm just going to pin that. And I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine first. So now that we have the 2 ends connecting and attached to the pants, we are going to begin to sew the elastic. And how do we do that, you may ask? I will show you. I like to make it a straight stitch, and where we attached it to the pants right here, I'm going to do that part first. I don't know your skill level on this, so I'm just going to assume that you haven't done this before, and I'm going to teach you like that. So, you have your elastic sewn here. It's pinned right here. So we're going to work section by section. So our first section, as we sew, we're going to pull on the elastic so that the pants underneath is straight. We want to be careful because these are stretchy, so we don't want to stretch this fabric. We want to stretch the elastic. We want to pull on the elastic. You're going to need both hands because if you pull, it's going to pull it out of the machine. So hold the back as you pull where the pin is. So you want to grab the pin and pull. So look, it's straight. You see it? You see it? Perfectly straight. While you're pulling with this hand behind here. I'm not pulling, but kind of holding it so it doesn't move with your pulling up front. Am I explaining that right? I really hope so. As you sew, you're going to just pull it straight. Okay. And like I said, you're gonna work just pin by pin. Okay, so now that you hit that pin, you're gonna move on to the next. So you're just gonna pinch it and pull it so it's straight. And so, I'm gonna try to give you guys another angle so you could kind of see what I'm doing. I'm pulling here and I'm pulling here so that it's straight. And just readjust as you go. You guys want to see my dogs play? Okay, so, alright, we're almost there. We're on the last part. We're going to do it all the way through. Make sure everything is straight so there's no bumps. Okay, so now that you went all the way around, so you're going to fold it down. See? Fold it down. And then you're going to sew and pull like you did the first time around. Okay, sorry, it's a little bit of a weird angle, but dude, it's actually so cute. Are you kidding me? What in the world? I actually love it. Okay, some things that I would do different next time I sew this is I would make the waist a little bit longer. I used a thicker elastic band and that messed me up with measuring. I would like it to be a little looser right here, a little lower. But I sewed these from my favorite wide leg pants and they are so perfect. I'm gonna make these again and again and again and again. So, how much was it to make? Fabric I know I got on clearance from Joann's when it was going out of business. I probably paid $2 a yard for it. And I think I did use 3 yards. So $6. If I'm wrong, I'll put it here. I think this was about $6 worth of fabric. The thread was thrifted. The elastic I bought from Joann, the elastic I bought from Michaels, it was probably $3 or $6. I'll have to Google it, I'll put it here. Obviously, already I can tell you it was so much cheaper than buying it from Free People. But this is what it looks like. And you know why I think mine is better? Let me tell you why. It has pockets. The other one did not look like it had pockets. This one has pockets. So obviously I like mine so much more. And it's so cute. Are you kidding me? What in the world? Alright. Well, if you guys end up making it, please tag it. I would love to see it. Use this hashtag on any social media platform, Facebook, Instagram. I can't think of any others right now, but I would love to see if you guys decide to make it as well. Yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. This was episode 2 of Sewing Things That I'm Too Broke to Buy. Say bye, Daisy. Say thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Bye.